Sixers are down 3-0 in the series. I didn't even make a video last night because I didn't want to break the mood of the Flyers winning. The Flyers moving on. The Flyers actually being able to form a good team, a good roster, make some moves in the offseason that are going to help this team. Unlike the Sixers, the Flyers move on, they win, they look good, they're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers, however, are the 6th seed in the East. They had all the expectations coming into the season. They were supposed to be like a top 2 team in the East. They were projected to win the finals by some analysts. The Sixers this year have just been absolute torture to watch. I have not had fun one game that I've watched this season. Yeah, there was the Lakers game. Yeah, there was the Clippers game. A couple times when we beat Boston, it was fun. But in all honesty, this season was torture. It was awful. I yelled more than I cheered. It was just a joke of a year. It was honestly embarrassing. It was embarrassing to be a Sixers fan with, Tobias, Horford. Horford is the worst contract in sports history. I am sworn by that. That man he's terrible. He's an absolute joke of a contract. 6 points in 37 minutes of play by Al Horford, who last year on the Celtics probably would have killed us, but it looks like he's honestly helping out the Celtics more than he's helping out the Sixers at this point in his career. I hate Al Horford. He needs to go for absolutely nothing. I would trade him for literally nothing at this point. If you can move that contract, you need to do it, because if not, you're going to be in a hold for years to come, because Al Horford is the biggest waste of space on the basketball court at all times. This man stinks. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't rebound. He's the worst defender I've ever seen. He is awful, and there's nothing he can do to make me actually think that he's going to be a good basketball player in the city of Philadelphia. I despise him. I hated him even more now than I did on the Celtics, and that's almost impossible to do. Al Horford can go kick rocks. He can go wherever he wants. He needs to go. I despise him as a basketball player. He can go for literally nothing. At least on Sunday will be the last game that Brett Brown ever coaches in a Sixers uniform, or in a Sixers, for the Sixers. The Brett Brown era ends on Monday. Thank God. The Sixers will get swept out of the bubble. Thank God. This season needs to go. I'm honestly thinking personally, I think everybody on this team should be on the trade block except Embiid and Simmons. If you can move Horford, if you can move Tobias, if you can move Shake, Richardson, Furkan, they need to go. I don't even care anymore. You need to let players walk. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to completely rearrange this team, because this squad right here is not going to get it done. You are wasting Joel Embiid's career. You are wasting Ben Simmons' career. Get rid of these bums, or this team will be in a hold for a very long time. This team is an absolute disgrace to this city. I hated watching them in the bubble. I hated watching them last night. They were winning the whole game. Or, no, they actually weren't winning the whole game, but they were in it the whole game, and then towards the end, Al Horford just decides to, do nothing like he usually does. Miss shots, not play defense, do this. Then we got a clear path foul. Then Embiid gets fouled and it's not called. It's just everything. I feel so bad for Joel Embiid. He's the only one that looks like he actually wants to win. Tobias is the biggest waste of contract, along with Al Horford. The Sixers lose, by the way, 102-94. Embiid had 30 points. Not a single other person is sniffing 20. Al Horford had a solid 6 points for a $100 million contract. He's an absolute disgrace. I hate Al Horford. He needs to go. He needs to go for little to nothing. I don't care. Somebody will take him. I'm sure of it. They need to get rid of him. No matter how bad the contract is, I will take him for the worst of contracts. I'll take him for Harrison Barnes. It doesn't even matter. They need to get rid of this bum, because he is an absolute disgrace on the basketball court. I hate him. I hate Brett. I hate everything about this squad this season. Was a joke. I had the highest of expectations for them. I picked them to win the finals because I thought they were going to be so defensively sound, so lengthy. They were supposed to be this great defensive team. They have not looked good on defense once this entire season, especially Al Horford. I hate him. I hate him. He needs to get out of the city. He stinks. He's washed. He's overrated. He was never good. I don't know how he was good in Boston. I don't know how he was good in Atlanta. But it's not coaching that's making him this bad. As much as I bash Brett Brown, that is not on him. Al Horford is a poor basketball player. He should never be able to step foot in this city wearing a Sixers jersey ever again. He's awful. He makes me sick watching him on the floor. I hate watching Al Horford play. Hate it. Tobias, absolute waste. 6 of 19, 31%, 15 points yet again. At least he grabs 15 rebounds, though. Congrats on that. But, you're a minus 14 every single game because you decide just not to shoot. And when you do, you miss. You're 0 of 5 on threes. Has Furkan made a shot yet? Nope. Still is yet to make a shot. That was a great signing. Oh, he's the shooter of the future. Good job. You could have drafted Siakam over this bum. But, that's Sixers management for you. Shake, okay, you're solid. You're nothing more than a bench player, though. 17 points, 6 of 18. He's solid. Don't get me wrong. But Shake Milton is not a starting point guard in this NBA. In this league, he is not a starting point guard. I'm sorry. He is not. Richardson, solid game, 41 minutes, 17 points. But he's shooting 11 threes. He's not a three-point shooter. He's 3 of 11. That's just awful. I'm just sick of this team, honestly. I truly am. I truly am just sick and tired of watching this team play basketball. I'm glad that they are going to get swept. They deserve every single bit of embarrassment that comes their way except Joel Embiid. That is the only man I feel bad for in the NBA. I don't care. Devin Booker went 8-0 in the playoffs. I don't care. His team stinks. He doesn't deserve to be there. If he goes 8-0 and he still can't make the playoffs, that's on him. That's on his team. Joel Embiid, though, look at what he's working with. Look at what they've given this man. Nothing. Little to nothing. Oh, Al Horford and Joel Embiid, they're going to be so good together. Oh, no. Al Horford just decided not to do his part ever. Joel's putting up his numbers. 30 points, 13 rebounds. How much do you want from this guy? He's not a guard. He's not going to just take over the game. He's not a LeBron James. It's a joke, man. I hate it. I hate watching this team play, dude. They need to go. They need to get swept. It's embarrassing. That this team losing like this is more embarrassing than them getting swept at this point. I don't even care. I didn't even have them winning the series to begin with, but now I'm just hoping for a sweep. Just get on with it. Get on to the next year. See you next year. I'll care about you during the draft when you're probably going to mess up that too. But they need to reorganize this team. Coaching, they might even need to fire Elton Brand. They need to get rid of Horford. They need to get rid of Tobias. Maybe. Tobias can stay. Don't get me wrong. Tobias is a solid player, but he is definitely not a number 2 option. I don't even know if he's a number 3 option at this point. But Tobias, he's on the brink. Richardson, I think you're just going to have to throw him in a Horford deal. Shake, he's not going anywhere. Furkan, he's a free agent. Burks is a free agent. Matisse isn't going anywhere. Scott, who knows. Neto, he can go. Glenn Robinson, he's probably going to walk. I'm just sick and tired of this. I can't even start screaming at this because it's just, I was expecting it. I was not expecting it to be close, and they made it close, and then they just mix the emotions in and just fall apart with the last 2 minutes when they're leading by 2. They didn't score a single point after 2 minutes. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of, saying that, oh, it's going to be our year. I'm tired of it. Because outside of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, this team is an absolute joke. You could say Tobias Harris, but he has his moments. But clearly, if you signed Jimmy Butler, you would probably not be in this position. All he asked was to get rid of Brett Brown, and you chose a poor coach over Jimmy Butler, a superstar in this league. If that just doesn't go to show where this team stands with their stars, then I don't know what it is. They're going to drive these 2 superstars out of Philadelphia, and I'm talking about Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They're going to drive them out if they don't get their stuff together, because if They leave, this city will be furious. Me, for one, I love Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They matter to me more than any other athlete outside of a couple in this city. But Joel Embiid is my number one athlete. He's the best player in this city. They need to rebuild. They need to rebuild while they can make the playoffs. They need to do it. Do I think they're going to win next year? If they bring out this same squad, not a chance. They might not even get the 7th seed. They're that bad. Al Horford is that bad of a player. But I'm giving Ben Simmons a couple more years. I'm giving Joel Embiid. You need to re-sign Embiid. I don't care. Give him the max. I do not care. Embiid needs to be a 76er in order for this team to even think about competing, because he's clearly the only one that cares about winning. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Sixers-Celtics, Game 4, 1 o'clock Sunday. They're going to get swept by Sixers. Go Flyers. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.